Good evening. My name is Bloodfire, and I love hockey. Not just any hockey, as you can tell by the background. I love the Eastern Coast Hockey League, or ECHL for short. They house my favorite team, the Maine Mariners, and many other teams that play throughout the seasons and are strung out through the United States and some in Canada. Now, I wanted to make a video that was this because I saw a lot of defunct NHL teams, but I hadn't found any videos online of defunct minor league teams. So today, I wanted to take through of the few teams that I selected that are defunct, that either did good but folded for unknown reasons, or lasted about a year in their season, or any other reasons they may have defunct. That teams that were popular, interesting logos, or things that I think will be interesting. So, without further ado, let's get to the first team. So, the first team I want to look at today is the Mobile Mystics. They played in Mobile, Alabama, or Mobile, Alabama, in the Mobile Civic Center. They seem to have a cool logo, a dragon between two hockey sticks. I actually think this is one pretty cool. I picked this out because I actually didn't see this when I was going through the list of teams I could select from. The Mystics began playing the ECHL as an expansion franchise for the 1995-1996 season under head coach and former NHL player Eddie Johnstone. During this time, they served as a minor league affiliate for the NHL's Philadelphia Flyers and the AHL's Hershey Bears. Following a rough start, the Mystics finished 7th in their division and did not qualify for the playoffs in their inaugural year. The following year, they finished 4th in the division and were eliminated from the playoffs in a first-round sweep by the Louisiana Ice Gators. The Mystics decided against renewing Johnstone's contract. His replacement, Matt Shaw, led Mobile to a 5th-place division finish and another first-round loss, again in a 3-game sweep by the Ice Gators. Shaw did not return to the Mystics for the following season. Jeff Pyle joined the Mystics as head coach for the 98-99 season. With Pyle at the helm, the team saw postseason action for the next 3 seasons, losing in the 1999 preliminary round to the Birmingham Bulls, falling in the first round of the 2000 playoffs to the Greenville Growl, and their most successful playoff bid, falling in double overtime in the second round to the South Carolina Stingrays, eventually the Kelly Cup champions, in 2001. Mystics failed to qualify for the playoffs in 2002, and the franchise suspended operations, moving to Duluth, Georgia in 2003, become the Gwinnett Gladiators, branded as the Atlanta Gladiators since 2015 to 2016. So the team has a cool logo, and it did pretty good. Or no, that's all long, so I'm just kind of going off the limb here. The logo, I think, is pretty cool, but, good looks don't always come for skill. Their standings didn't really do good throughout their entire seasons. Their only good one was in the 99-2000 season, where they were second in the Southwest with 41 games, 28 lost games, and 2 ties. Their worst games, I think their worst season was their first one, making 7th and losing 37 and only winning 22. Overall, I think the 90s and the early 2000s for minor league hockey really was just, especially for the ECHL, was just this. A lot of teams would try to make their mark and try to be good. It was very experimental back in the day. But that out of the way, let's move on to our second team. Our second team is one that not many people heard of, and I actually think has the most unique logo, unique name, and a great place for a team. At our second list, our second team of the entry, the New Orleans Brass, playing in the ECHL, founded in '97 and operated from '97 to 2002. The New Orleans Brass were a hockey team in the ECHL from the '97 to 2002 season. The team was at one time affiliated with the San Jose Sharks. Home games were played first at New Orleans Municipal Auditorium until October 29, 1999, and then the New Orleans Arena. In 2002, the NBA Charlotte Hornets moved to New Orleans and became the primary tenant in the arena. The New Orleans Hornet, now the New Orleans Pelicans, pressured the state of Louisiana, which owns the arena, into demanding the Brass bear the expense of converting the arena to and from basketball and hockey as a condition of staying in the arena. The expense was more than the Brass ownership was willing to pay. The Municipal Auditorium had recently placed its floor and in the process removing its ice plant. Without a suitable home, the Brass folded. The only head coach of the Brass, Ted Setter, the team's first GM. Yeah, this isn't important. It is, whatever. The team's first GM was Larry Kish, who was succeeded by Danny. Yeah, actually, this is not important. The Brass made the playoffs every year, winning three series. Two in 98-99 season. The same season, the Brass earned its worst record, and won in 2000-2001 season, putting the Brass in the conference semifinals and quarterfinals, respectively. The principal rivals of the Brass were the Louisiana Ice Gators and the Mississippi Seawolves. The Baton Rouge Kingfish were another interstate rival for the Brass. The team's games were broadcast in New Orleans radio station WSMB, now WWWL. The first radio voice of the Brass was Steve Carell, who is now the radio voice of the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, it seemed they did pretty good, actually. They didn't do terrible. They did pretty decent. In their first season, they did 36 wins, 24 losses. Second season, 30-27. Third, 36-27. Fourth, 35-25. And their last season, 36-32. I genuinely think this team would have actually... And, yeah, they actually probably would have done good. They made the playoffs every year, even in their worst. I think they would have done at least... Yeah, they would have done really good if the Pelicans didn't push him out, or if they could have found a suitable arena. It's actually very sad to see this team go, because even looking at their jerseys, if I can find it, I'll put it up on screen here, were really cool. Their logo and everything about it was actually pretty cool. Sad to see the thing go. Now, this one is a little more known in our next entry, but probably not many people know it as now. And that is for our third entry, the Jonestown Chiefs, which played in Jonestown, Pennsylvania from 1987 to 2010, and played in the Cambria County War Memorial Arena. The colors were black, gold, and white, and they had a pretty cool logo and jerseys altogether. I'll put it up on the screen here. The owners originally wanted the name to be the Jets, and started the team that played in Jonestown from 1950 to 1977, mostly in the East Coast Hockey League. However, the old Jets' former owners still held the trademark for the name and refused to allow the team to use it. A contest was held by the owners, allowing the people of Johnstown to vote for the new name. The cult hockey movie Slapshot had been filmed in Johnstown and featured a minor league team called the Chiefs. Fans readily jumped on the tie-in, and the Johnstown Chiefs were born. Actually, how did I not pick up on that? That's actually clever. The Chiefs played their home games in the historic 3,745-seat Cambria County War Memorial Arena in Johnstown, where most of their hockey scenes in the movie Slapshot were filmed. Despite popular belief, the Chiefs' uniform colors, black, gold, and white, were not chosen because of local fan connection to the Steelers, Pirates, and Penguins. Shortly after the emergency lease had been approved by the Cambria County War Memorial head coach Joe Selensky traveled to Canada to find team uniforms and called War Memorial marketing director Dennis Grinnell at 3 a.m. to tell him that the only uniforms he could find were black and gold, similar to the Boston Bruins uniforms of the 1970s. But he did not have enough money to buy them. Grinnell agreed to pay for the uniforms using his own credit card. Coincidentally, the Chiefs' first minor league affiliation would be the Boston Bruins. The Chiefs, along with the Wheeling Thunderbirds, now known as the Wheeling Nailers, played the role of Pittsburgh Penguins in the 1995 film Sudden Death, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The premise was the Penguins playing the Chicago Blackhawks for the Stanley Cup when terrorists attempt to hold the vice president hostage in the arena. This actually sounds really good. On August 17th, 2007, the Chiefs announced that they entered into affiliation with the ECHL's Colorado Avalanche during the 2007-08 season. The Chiefs served as the Avalanche's secondary minor league affiliate. On September 8, 2007, the Chiefs announced they also had entered an affiliation agreement with the Boston Bruins for the 07-08 season. Prior to the 08-09 season, the Chiefs re-signed their affiliation with the Avalanche and entered into an affiliation agreement with the Blue Jackets, replacing the Bruins on August 22, 2008. For the 2009-2010 season, the Chiefs were the secondary minor league affiliate of the Minnesota Wild. Jeff Flanagan, who took up the role of head coach to start the year. After leading the team to the ECHL cellar-dwelling 9-19-7 record, Flanagan was fired, replaced for the remainder of the season by majority owner Neil Smith on January 10, 2010. In February 2010, the Tribune-Democrat report that the television reports from the Greenville, South Carolina, say that the Chiefs will relocate to Greenville following the season to compete at the Bilo Center. I cannot see periods at all for some reason. My eyes that bad. Greenville had previously been home to the Greenville Growl, who played in ECHL from 1998 to 2006. The ECHL revoked Greenville's franchise rights. On February 17th, 2010, the league announced that the Chiefs would be relocating to Greenville after the league's Board of Governors voted unanimously in favor of the move. News of the relocation also made the press in New York City, including New York Times, due to Smith being the former president and governor of the New York Rangers and former general manager of the New York Islanders. The team renamed the Greenville Road Warriors and became affiliated with the Rangers. The team played their final game as the Johnstown Chiefs Saturday, April 3rd, 2010. The result was a 5-3 loss to the Elmira Jackals. According to a pre-game address by minority owner Ned Nichols to the fans in attendance, the Chiefs' name, logo, team records, and history would not follow the franchise to Greenville, but would remain in Johnstown under ownership by a non-profit group to possibly be used again should a new ECHL team be in the city. The Wheeling Nailers, the ECHL affiliate of the Pittsburgh Penguins, announced prior to the Chiefs' season finale that they would play 10 of their 36 home games and preseason games at the Cambria County War Memorial Arena during the 2010-11 ECHL season. That was a big read, and my eyes hurt. But this is probably going to be the oldest team on the list, playing from 87 to 88. The All-American Hockey League, all the way up to the ECHL. I don't think they did terrible at all. Oh yeah, they did. I think their worst year was 95, 96, maybe. This is a lot to read, so I'm just going to put it up on screen here for you to read for yourself on their season results, because that's a lot, and I don't want to do it. Shame on me, I know, but yeah, I think the team is. I'm actually kind of sad. I don't know why I didn't get the reference to Slapshot, seeing how that's one of my favorite hockey movies of all time. And The logo, I think the logo is actually really iconic, and the name as well, when it comes to minor league hockey, because it's one of the first teams in the ECHL. One of the, I think, founding teams, correct me if I'm wrong. Or they're one of the oldest teams that were in the ECHL that folded. I'm pretty sure there's no other team that's still today that, still plays. But, yeah, with that, let's move on to the fourth team. The fourth team, which is probably the longest entry on this list, and I think probably the most recent, is the Alaska Aces, founded in 1989 in the PSHL, but we're not going to be talking about that. Well, I guess we might. Never mind. They play at the Sullivan Arena in Anchorage, Alaska, and they played from 2003 to 2017 in the ECHL. Now playing as my team, the Maine Mariners. In the early semi-professional days, the team was established in 1989 as the Anchorage Aces. They were originally a semi-professional club in the Pacific Southwest Hockey League, organized by Dennis Sorensen as a senior men's ice hockey team to compete against the established Alaska Golden Kings in Fairbanks. The Aces played for 4 unofficial games during the 89-90 season. During the 90-91 season, Keith Street led the team on a 22-game schedule, which included 20 games against the teams registered with USA Hockey. The 90-91 season ended with the Aces winning the Senior Men's Opening National Championship, and held in Fairbanks. In 93 and 94, they won the National Amateur Championship. They finished second in 92 and 95. The Aces joined the Pacific Northwest Hockey League, PNHL for short, for the 91-92 season, playing 6 of their home games at Sullivan Arena in Anchorage and 8 at the Central Peninsula Sports Center in Soldotna. In 92-93 season, new head coach Mike Ashley led the Aces to a 19-3-30 regular season record. In the USA Hockey Senior Men's Open Tournament, the Aces finished second for the second year in a row after completing a 4-1 record in the tournament, losing the tiebreaker to Chicago Chargers. Ashley resigned the following season. For the 93-94 season, the Aces played as an independent team. Steve Caprini took over as head coach and led the Aces to a 22-9-1 regular season record. The Aces also won their second championship in the USA Hockey Senior Men's Open National Tournament with a 5-0 run highlighted by the 6-0 rout of the Fresno Falcons. In 94-95 season, the Aces joined the Pacific Hockey League, PHL, formed by merger of the PSHL and PNHL. The team went 27-9 and lost the championship game to the Gold Kings. After the PHL folded after only one season, after an unsuccessful attempt to form a new Pacific Rim Hockey League, the Aces joined the new West Coast Hockey League, WCHL, for the 95-96 season. Mike Cusack Jr. became the sole owner of franchise following the 95-96 season. In the 96-95 season, the Aces initially lost the league in the league playoffs to the Fresno Falcons in 4 games. The WCHL commissioner determined that their 2-4 loss in Game 4 would be changed to a 1-0 victory due to forfeit by the Fresno Falcons when they failed to meet the minimum roster requirement due to injuries and suspensions. The Aces won the deciding 5th game and advanced to the Taylor Cup Finals, but were defeated by the San Diego Gulls. In the 2001 season, Sterling Wright was brought in to serve as assistant coach. He was instrumental bringing in former NHL players when the Aces signed former NHL goalie Vincent Rondeau and right wing Kevin Brown. The Idaho Steelheads defeated the Aces 3-0 in the first round of the playoffs. Overall, the Aces finished in 3rd place with a 34-30 record. and advanced to the semifinals, only to be ousted by the Tacoma SaberCats in 3 games. In 2001 to 2002 season, Wright was promoted within the franchise and began serving as the new general manager. He hired former NHL coach and player Butch Goring as the team's new head coach, in an effort to revamp the team. Wright only extended the contracts for players from the previous seasons. The Aces additionally signed 5 former NHL players, including defenseman Jim Paik, goaltender Scott Bailey, wingers Todd Harkins and Daniel Ganu, and center Clayton Bedos. Clayton Bedos retired just a few games into the season due to previous shoulder injury. The Aces promoted a guaranteed win night where if they lost the game, the fans in attendance would see free Aces tickets at school. After a 10-18 season start, Aces owner Mike Cusack fired Goring and Luca Carletto, who served via the franchise as vice presidents and business operations. He brought back former head coach Walt Padumi, and Sterling Wright stepped down as general manager due to his disapproval of the owner's decisions. The Aces went on to win only a few more games, and the mass exodus of players soon followed after Wright left the team. The team itself was making a profit, but the owner's financial ventures claimed to drain the team of its revenue. In May 2002, the team filed personal bankruptcy. Cusick concluded his ownership of the Anchorage Aces franchise in the filing. According to the filing papers, the team was almost $2 million in debt. In June 2002, Cusick put the team up for sale on That's not right, is it? On eBay. Is there like an article? Really? Oh wow. They're not kidding. The club's owner, Cusack, accepted $1.862 million bid from Duncan Harrison over the Alaskan Automotive Distributing in Anchorage. But U.S. Bankruptcy Court Judge Donald McDonald, there's no way, converted the Aces bankruptcy case to Chapter 7, which allowed him to reject the Harrison bid. The listing was withdrawn when it was discovered that $2.3 million bid was a college student's prank. There's no way that was real. That's hilarious. The club was eventually sold for $1.05 million to a 7-member group. As of 2015, the Aces and Idaho Steelheads were the only former WCH teams still playing in the original markets. The Aces joined the ECHL for the 2003-2004 season following the merger between the WCHL and the East Coast Hockey League. They were renamed the Alaska Aces after the league switched and unveiled a new logo and new uniforms. The team gained national prominence in 2004 when it signed New Jersey Devils All-Star Alaskan-born Scott Gomez during that season's NHL lockout. Gomez went on to lead the ECHL in scoring and winning most valuable player honors. The Aces' 2006 triple overtime win against Las Vegas Wranglers was at the time the third longest game in ECHL history, concluding after 113 minutes and 30 seconds. In 2008, the Aces became only the second team in ECHL history, joining the South Carolinas of Charleston, South Carolina, and winning both the Bradman Cup and Kelly Cup championships in the same season. In 2008, the Cincinnati Cyclones became the third team to accomplish this feat. In 2011, the Aces accomplished the feat for the second time, becoming the first team to ever do it twice. In 2006, Alaska won the ECHL Kelly Cup title in 5 games over the Gwinnett Gladiators. This was the first professional sports title won by the Alaskan team since the Anchorage Northern Knights won by the Continental Basketball Association championship in 1980. Mike Scott received the ECHL Kelly Cup MVP award after the Aces' 4-3 win over the Gladiators in Game 5 of the series. In 2009, the Aces stormed through the first 3 rounds of the Kelly Cup playoffs, winning in 5 games against the Utah Grizzlies and Victoria Salmon Kings in the first 2 rounds, and sweeping the Las Vegas Wranglers in National Conference Finals. They were in Kelly Cup's finals for the first time since their championship in 2006, but they lost to seven games to the South Carolina Stingrays. In 2010 and 2011 season, the Aces dominated the entire season, winning the Bradham Cup by earning the best record in the league, as well as leading the league in points scored. Wes Goldie led the league in goals scored in the Kelly Cup playoffs. They swept the Idaho Steelheads and Victoria Southland Kings and won the Kelly Cup championships over the Kalamazoo Wings in 5 games. The Aces won a third Kelly Cup in 2014, defeating the Cincinnati Cyclones in 6 games. On August 22nd, 2013, the Aces announced their affiliation with the Calgary Flames. In the 2014-15 season, the Aces defended the Kelly Cup championship, playing in the Pacific Division of the ECHL's Western Conference, but failed to make the playoffs for the first time since the WCHL days. They would miss the playoffs again in 2016, playing road games in only 6 different locations. In 2017, co-owner Jerry Mackey stated the ownership was considering ceasing operations upon the completion of the 16-17 season due to mounting financial losses, the recent sagging Alaskan economy, and the aforementioned high travel costs and dwindling attendance. On February 23rd, the ownership officially announced the 2016-17 season would be its last. On April 8th, 2016, the Aces played their final game in a 3-2 loss to the Idaho Steelheads in front of a sold-out Sullivan Arena. In June 2016, the Aces membership was sold to Comcast Spector, who relocated the team to Portland, Maine for the 18-19 season. Now, this was a mouthful, an eyeful. Eyes are bleeding for all the white on black, or black on white. Now, again, just like the last entry, I will be putting up their season records here on the screen for a minute as I'm talking, because that's just way too complicated to read. Now, I'm actually kind of sad this team went down. I mean, well, I'm not, because it became my team, but that's not the point. I actually collected one of their hats, and I have it in my room as we speak. Their logo was cool. Their team, they had great players, and it was actually very sad to see them go. And I'm pretty sure there's only one team. Idaho is the only team from the WCHL merger that still plays today, because all the other teams lost, which is a shame. A lot of these teams did very good in their games. If it wasn't for the Alaskan economy, the Alaska Aces would still be a powerhouse, as they were, or hopefully they would still be a powerhouse as they started to dwindle in their end of the season. But with that out of the way, let's go to the rest. Let's go to the second to last team. So, I may have lied about the last one being the most recent, because I actually don't know. I'm kind of picking out teams as I'm going. But one kind of caught my eye, because I wanted to pick this one because the Stockton Heat are moving to Calgary during the next AHL season. And though this is an ECHL list and team, I thought, why not make this a good list by shedding a light on the history of the Stockton Thunder, playing in the city of Stockton, California, in the Western Pacific, founded in 1990, operate from 2005 to 2015, before moving to become the Adirondack Thunder, which kind of still suck. Oh, no, they suck. I don't like Adirondack a bit. That's out of the way. We're going to be looking at just the Stocktons thing, because I want to keep this video a bit short. So, the Atlantic Boardwalk Bullies were relocated to Stockton following the 2004-2005 season, and the franchises are named the Stockton Thunder in May 2005. After Thunder beat out Brawlers, Fog, Skate, Spears, and Stallions in the named the team contest, that same month, former Cyclones forward and coach Chris Kihoki was named the first head coach in Thunder history. Before the 2006 2007 season, the Thunder reached an affiliation agreement with the National Hockey League's Edmonton Oilers to be their secondary affiliate after the American Hockey League's Springfield Falcons. Midway through 2009-2010 season, the Thunder would pick up a working partnership agreement with the San Jose Sharks. In the 2007 and 2007, the Thunder in Stockton Arena were chosen to host the 2008 ECHL All-Star Game. Three Thunder players, Ryan McMurray, Brad Farinuk, and Andy Contois, were selected to the National Conference All-Star Team. Would win the team. The National Conference would win the exhibition, defeating the American Conference 10-7. And the victorious Allen Kings forward Ash Goldie was named the most valuable player. The 2008-09 season began with Stockton starting at 10 with a 10-17 record with fourth place in the Pacific Division before hiring Matt Thomas as a new coach on December 29th. Stockton won 7 games in a row and went on a 7-0 record in its first 8 games under Thomas, eventually clinching a Kelly Cup playoff berth for the third straight season. The Thunder achieved its first playoff series win in club history, 4-3 in 7 games with the Pacific Division champion Ontario Reign. The series featured 5 separate one-goal games, and Stockton won 5-7 at Ontario behind Craig Valentine's eventual game-winning goal. The Las Vegas Wranglers, the defending conference champions, eliminated Stockton another 4-3 in the conference semifinals. Following a start to the 2009-2010 season at 5-11 and 1-6 on their home ice, the Thunder acquired forwards J.F. Caudron, Matt Robinson, Brett Hemingway, and defensive Anthony Aiello and Justin DaCosta through a series of trades and free agent signings in December to go 28-19 overall and 16-6 at Stockton Arena for a remainder of the regular season. At one point moving to a tie for the first place in the Pacific Division with Bakersfield Condors in the final week of the regular season. They made playoffs for 4 straight seasons. God, I cannot speak today. I swear to God. In February 2010, Stockton Hockey Franchise Group, Inc. sold the team to SC Hockey Franchise Corp., headed by Canadian oil executive Brad it's Brad, I can't say that name. And the ECHL Board of Governors unanimously approved the transfer, controlling interest in April. April 2010. Their season ended by advancing to the National Conference Finals for the first time in club history. The Thunder defeated the defending conference champion Alaska Aces 3-1 in a best-of-5 round series. Stockton then defeated Pacific Ocean Division champion Condors 4-1 in the best-of-7 conference semifinal. The Idaho Steelheads then eliminated Stockton 4-2 in the conference final series. In August 2010, the Edmonton Oilers announced that Oklahoma City Barons would be the AHL affiliate of the Thunder for the 2010-11 season. Thunder and San Jose Sharks also announced an affiliation partnership, aligning the two logical teams and giving the Thunder a dual NHL draft for the first time in club history. As a result, Stockton had the AHL affiliate in both Oklahoma and the city of Worcester. In 2012, the Thunder announced an exclusive affiliation with the Edmonton Oilers, choosing not to renew their agreement with the San Jose Sharks. On July 31st, 2013, the Thunder announced they renewed their affiliation for the 13-14 season with the New York Islanders and Bridgeport Sound Tigers, now known as the Bridgeport Islanders of the AHL. On January 30th, 2015, the Calgary Flames purchased the Thunder's ECHL franchise rights and relocated them to Glens Falls, New York, to become the Adirondack Thunder. The Adirondack Flames, also owned by the Calgary Flames, relocated from Glens Falls to Stockton to become the Stockton Heat prior to the 2015-16 season. since relocated from Atlantic City, taking up residence as... Actually, I'm not going to read that part. Sorry. Yeah, besides my dyslexic reading, this team actually did... Actually, there's no... I don't know their standings. It just shows most of their notable players. Other than that, the team, I think, did pretty good. They won a conference championship the 2012-13 season. I'm not sure about the rest, though. But I kind of had to include this in due to the reason of Stockton's losing another team, so why not, I guess? And the final ECHL team we will be covering on this list is the Chicago Express. By far one of my favorite Defunct teams due to their logo and just how everything is laid out in their color scheme. The Chicago Express were a professional ice hockey team located in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, serving the Chicago market. The Express were a member of the North Division of the ECHL's Eastern Conference. The team played its home games at the Sears Center. The Express were owned by Craig Dektra, who formerly owned the UHL's Chicago Hounds and Rockford Ice Hogs. It was announced on July 13, 2011 that the Express would affiliate with the NHL's Columbus Blue Jackets and AHL's Springfield Falcons. On April 6, 2012, it was announced that the Chicago Express would cease operations due to poor attendance and lack of support. The Express finished last in their league from an average attendance with 2,508 on some nights. The Express, which also had the AHL and NHL competition in the same market, was struggling to get 1,000 spectators at the game, seeing on how they only operated for one season before folding. The team's inception, the team formed out of talks between owner Craig Dektra and officials at the Sears Center, on the heels of Chicago Hounds folding in 2009 for only playing one season in the 06-07 at the Sears Center. Dektra worked out with the arena and Hoffman Estates Village officials to bring ECHL franchise. The league approved the franchise application at the ECHL's annual Board of Governors meeting in June 2010. To name the team's new franchise, the team held a special Name the Team contest that eventually received over 1,000 unique name suggestions. On July 22nd, the 4 finalists for the team name were unveiled. They were the Chicago Blizzard, Hoffman Estate Hammers, Chicago Knights, and Chicago Express. Voting for the team's names closed on August 4th, with Express announced as the winner on September 21st. The final 4 portion of the contest received a total of 20,000 votes. Under the 2012-11 season, under the direction of Steve Martison, the Express finished with a record of 34, 26, 8, and 4. Good enough for 80 points, and second place in the North Division, 4 points behind the division-leading Kalamazoo Wings. However, this was only good enough for 9th in Eastern Conference. They were actually tied with 8th place Reading Royals, point-wise. However, they missed out on the playoffs because Royals had more wins. At the end of the season, the Express folded outright. There were a myriad of reasons for this. Firstly, the Express could not hope to compete with the Chicago Blackhawks in the NHL, and the Chicago Wolves the AHL. The team had no radio television deals and were not promoted on those mediums. The team also had a hard time drawing fans from Hoffman Estates from the heart of the city. So yeah, I think I picked this team that would only lasted a season and wasn't really well known. I actually like the color scheme and their jerseys a lot, and everything about this team is good because it kind of shows that not everything's going to go as planned. You could have a really good team concept and everything, but it could still not go as planned. This is a good example of, I don't know what it's an example of, but I just think the team looks cool. And I actually hope to collect some of their old gear in the future. But with that closes off today's video. I kind of worked hard on this despite my poor reading and weird guttural noises, but I kind of put this in this is kind of my heart of my channel right now. I want to start making more hockey content in the future, and I think my next video will probably be on the AHL Defunct teams, which will take a while since their wiki is kind of a mess. Though I think I know how many teams. If there is a team that you think I missed and you would like to see part 2 of this video, leave a like and comment of the team of your previous team that used to be in the ECHL or AHL, even for that matter, and I will put it in a video if I decide to make a part 2. Well, I've been Bloodfire, and see y'all later, homies.